welcome back to another video, and today we are here for another severe weather breakdown. Now today, we're going to be talking about an ongoing severe weather outbreak bringing damaging winds, large hail, and even a few tornadoes to a certain portion of the United States. So let's go ahead and get right into it, starting off with the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today, where we have two slight risks of severe weather, one of them going out for portions of the Four Corner States, and one of them going out for portions of the Midwest. Tornado threat for today. If you're in that green area, you have a 2% chance to see a tornado in your town that goes from portions of the Minnesota, North Dakota, Canada border all the way back down towards the South Dakota, Nebraska state line, so make sure to look out for that. Damaging wind threat for today. If you're in either of those yellow areas, you have a 15% chance to see wind gusts of 60 miles per hour or higher in your town, so make sure to look out for that. Hail threat for today. If you're in either of those yellow areas, you have a 15% chance to see hail of 1 inch or larger in your town, so make sure to look out for that. Now, moving on to tomorrow, we have an enhanced risk of severe weather for portions of the Midwest. Now, this is a pretty big deal, and we haven't had one for quite a while, so listen up. Tornado threat for tomorrow. If you're in that brown area, you have a 5% chance to see a tornado in your town. That main region being centered around there is kind of the Sioux Falls area, back into portions of southwestern Minnesota, southeastern South Dakota, extreme northwestern Iowa, and just clipping the South Dakota-Nebraska state line. So make sure to look out for that and have a tornado action plan in place. Damaging wind threat for tomorrow. If you're in that red area, you have a 30% chance to see wind gusts of 60 miles an hour or higher in your town, so make sure to look out for that. We are talking about the potential for widespread damaging winds across this entire area, alright? Now, hail threat for tomorrow is even higher. We have a 30% chance to see wind gusts of we have a 30% chance to see hail of 1 inch or larger within 25 miles of any given point in that red area, and if you're in that black circle there with the lines, then you have at least a 10% chance to see hail of 2 inches or larger in your town, which is definitely some large destructive hail, so make sure to look out for that. Now, going into Tuesday, we do have a slight risk of severe weather for portions of the upper Midwest back into the Great Lakes region, so we'll make sure to break down the threats that brings on our next forecast. But that's all we have for the next few days, so let's go ahead and move on to what the models are showing here. We can see that later into this evening, around 8 p.m., we are going to have some supercells kind of start to fire off in portions of South Dakota, but they're not really going to get going with a super high tornado threat, it doesn't look like. By 2 a.m., most of those are kind of on the downward trend. Alright, we could still see an isolated severe thunderstorm or two across portions of the Dakotas or even Minnesota, but overall not looking like anything too crazy. But by noon tomorrow, we're already dealing with some strong to severe storms across portions of northwestern South Dakota, and those are going to push eastward here, and then we're going to see some re-sparking of these storms further to the south here, where the damaging wind threat is going to be highly elevated tomorrow evening, especially at around 8 p.m., where we're going to have the potential for multiple bow echo line of storms there. So make sure to look out for that. Again, damaging winds are going to be the main threat with these, but if any of these storms do become discrete enough, they could produce an isolated tornado, and those storms are going to last all the way into Tuesday morning here, where we can see we're still going to be dealing with some intense hail and windstorms potentially across portions of the Michigan UP, alright, portions of Wisconsin, and even back into parts of Minnesota and South Dakota there, North Dakota there. And then we can kind of see our next event starting to get going there on Tuesday evening, but again, we'll kind of talk about that later into the week. So finally, watches, warnings, and advisories. If you're in those orange shaded boxes, those are heat advisories. We have those going out for pretty much the entirety of the plains here, back into portions of the Midwest and the Great Lakes region. Those hot pink color boxes, those are your excessive heat warnings, which are basically just an elevated version of heat advisories, so if you're in those, you really need to look out for some dangerously hot conditions. And then those dark red boxes that we have going out for portions in northeastern Illinois and northwestern Indiana are your excessive heat watches. So while excessive heat is not imminent, it is expected to start within the next couple of days. So that's going to be it for today. If you guys did enjoy, please be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you all for tuning in, and stay safe. Peace.